Hey, it's Whitney from EcoVeganGal.com, and this video is going to be about how to have an eco-friendly vegan Halloween. But before I get to those tips, I wanted to let anyone know who's watching when I record this video, so around the same time, that I'm not going to be doing the live Q&As for the next 2 Saturdays. So that's October 25th and November 1st, 2014. I'm going to be traveling in the Caribbean doing some vegan food demos and won't have access to high-speed internet. And if you're not watching around those dates, just ignore that part of this video. So I received a really wonderful question for an upcoming Q&A, and it's perfect timing. I thought this video would also make up for me not doing the live Q&As. This question came from Eric, who said that he's currently a vegetarian and will become a vegan really soon. He's been looking around at the store and noticed that most of the candies at the grocery store are not vegan. He put a little frown face there. He's been checking everywhere and hasn't been able to find any. So he thought this would be a great topic to bring up due to lots of people celebrating the season and there not being so many options, especially for chocolate lovers. He also thinks that some vegans may have or will have trouble deciding on what candy really is vegan, especially with all the food additives they add. And he just doesn't think the topic is mentioned too much. He's been checking online and hasn't been able to find many options, so I was wondering if he should make his own. Love this question, Eric. Thank you for asking, and I'm sorry that you're having so much trouble finding the answer, because to me, I feel like there's always an abundance of this type of info, but perhaps I'm wrong. So I've got a few things to share with you. Number one, I'm just going to get quickly into a very short answer for those of you who are looking to get in and out of this video. I have a post that I'll link down below from 2009 that gave a list of some great chocolates to check out. Number one is a company that I always have trouble pronouncing, but is delicious, and that's S-Jax, or maybe it's called Jax. I don't know. Somebody tell me how to pronounce that name, because I've years been screwing it up. But they have phenomenal chocolates. It's spelled S-J-A-A-K. And they even have organic vegan chocolates, all different types. They do great Halloween packaging and have all these different flavors and fillings, and you can order them online, and they're also in a lot of stores, especially natural markets, so check for those. Then there's Go Max Go. They make really great vegan chocolate bars. They tend to be a little bit more processed, and so I'm not always the biggest fan, but they taste really, really good. So if you're transitioning to the vegan diet and you want a special treat for Halloween, I think Go Max Go is a really great choice. Then there's Endangered Species. They make dark chocolate year-round, but they often make little small bars that are for trick-or-treaters and for anybody that wants some Halloween candy. Then there's Sweet and Sarah. Sometimes they put out special ghost-shaped marshmallows, and they're just a really sweet company in general. Speaking of marshmallows, there's also Dandies made by Chicago Vegan Foods. I'm not sure if they have any special Halloween candies, but you can look into that. They will do their vegan versions of Peeps, which are like for Easter. Which look like the little, they're shaped as little ducks, I guess, or chicks. So maybe they have something for Halloween too. And yeah, I also, in that link below, share another list to vegan Halloween candy. And let's see, there's a lot in here. There's a great site called naturalcandystore.com. PETA has a good list of it. And I love this site called Abe's Market. Definitely a great place to shop online if you still have time before Halloween. And speaking of Abe's Market, they actually have a free ebook. And this answers the second part of Eric's question, because the ebook is all about how to make your own Halloween treats. And they have recipes for like every meal of the day. So not just treats, desserts, and snacks, but I think they also have just, entrees and lunch and dinner and even breakfast options so that you can celebrate Halloween the entire day or the entire week. It's completely free ebook compiled from a bunch of different vegan bloggers out there. So definitely check that out. The link is down below for you to download it. I want to elaborate a little bit further on this topic for people that want some more information. One thing that I found a little while ago was how to be plastic free on Halloween. There's a great list from the Plastic Pollution Coalition, and here are some tips for you on that note. So this is kind of more the eco-friendly side of things. You could get a mini box of candy instead of getting the individual plastic wrapped candy, or you can just skip the candy altogether and hand out homemade treats or homemade crafts as little gifts. That's always a good idea for trick-or-treaters. You can make your own costumes instead of buying the plastic costumes out there, like the masks and the little plastic outfits that you buy really cheap. I love going to second-hand stores to find Halloween costumes, and you can save a ton of money on this too and get really creative. When you're lighting jack-o'-lanterns, you can use matches instead of lighters, because it's very unfortunate the ocean is full of those little plastic lighters. So using matches around the whole year is really great. But if you're lighting jack-o'-lanterns, why can't I say this? Jack-o'-lanterns during Halloween, using matches is really helpful. Then skipping plastic decorations and going for authentic things like corn stalks and pumpkins. You can make ghosts from old sheets that you have lying around, or even old t-shirts. It would just, let's see what else. Oh yeah, real leaves and origami bats. That's a really cool idea if you know how to do origami. And you can find all of these tips online on various DIY websites. Just type in DIY, follow whatever you want to make for decorations or costumes, and you'll find great resources. And you can also trade costumes with friends to avoid the waste, which is an amazing idea. Nobody really wants to wear the same costume over and over and over again, so you could swap it out. Find a few friends, call them up, email them, Facebook them, find out if they have a spare costume, and go ahead and borrow it, and if you have one, you guys can trade. That's a really cool idea. You can thank Plastic Pollution Coalition for those tips. And then I wanted to share a few things from this great book called Celebrate Green. I'll link to it down below if you want to check this out, because this is wonderful year-round. These women that wrote it, Corey Caldwell-Lipson and Lynn Caldwell, they're a mother and daughter team and are so knowledgeable. I'll link to their website as well. They have a whole section about Halloween here, and I haven't had a chance to mark it up for notes, so I'm just gonna read out some tips live for you here. They do mention a few things like how candy can be, or the average candy, the processed candy, right? Not the organic, vegan, healthy candies, but the average Halloween candy that kids are eating are really dangerous here. So they say here that candy is an issue when it's made with unhealthy and unearth-friendly ingredients, when it is handed out and eaten in excessive amounts, and when, as our friends at the Washington Oral Health Foundation would point out, teeth are left unbrushed after consumption, right? And this applies to adults as well here. And let's see here, they're talking about obesity and diabetes rates in the United States and skyrocketing, and that common candy ingredients include artificial colors and preservatives that can cause behavioral problems in some children and probably adults as well. And of course, eating candy every once in a while and in moderation is very different, but they're pointing out here that we kind of overdo it around Halloween. And also, conventionally grown chocolate is connected with devastating human and environmental consequences, and they go more in depth about that. So things like when you buy fair trade chocolate over non-fair trade certified chocolate, you're really protecting the workers involved with that. And there's all sorts of issues with how we source our ingredients. So when you buy high quality, organic, unprocessed or unrefined candies or treats or any of that, you're not only protecting your health, but you're helping other people and the environment. And I love that they go into depth in this book. So let's see here. There's a lot of tips in here, and I'm sorry I wasn't more prepared, but I didn't have a chance to be. Okay. Oh, they're talking, I love this too, how children seem to be born with the innate ability to detect cheap disposable goodies and treat them as such. So it's interesting when kids get things like plastic rings and sticky things and toys that are just super cheap, they throw them out. But when you get them something that is well made, they seem to cherish it a little bit more. So that goes back to that great tip about giving really high quality things instead of just like the single-use plastic items. And then they can use them over and over again. So they say, try not to replace conventional candy with trinkets that were made in some faraway land, especially if they're not fair trade, that will inevitably end up in the landfill. Instead, think about choosing simple treasures that will be prized long after Halloween night. Really great point there. Okay, so they also have lots of information on their website, which is greenhalloween.org. I haven't visited that site in a long time, so I'll put it down below, but I'm not 100% sure that it's still active there. But here are some of their favorite treats. So this, of course, are specifically for kids, but I don't know, if you're an adult and you're doing the trick-or-treating thing, this will apply to you even if you don't have kids. So things like individually wrapped organic tea. That's interesting. I'm not sure kids would like that. Some adults don't even like organic tea, but hey, if you find the right people, why not? That could be fun. And they also have a lot of companies have holiday themed teas out there. Organic and whole food bars or cookies, fruit leather and sticks, organic raisins. I have to say organic raisins are the last thing kids want for Halloween. That is like the joke of trick-or-treating, but I get the point. I personally just wouldn't do it. You could do honey alternative sticks, like bee-free honey. Actually makes great little sticks. Kind of a weird trick-or-treat thing, but again, that's a good idea there. And of course, all those different brands that I brought up, the individual servings. And then you can give all sorts of charms and jewels and special coins and cookie cutters, and they have like a whole list of all these treasures, the DIY treasures. You can do soy crayons. That's a cool idea. Stamps from foreign countries, temporary tattoos are always fun. Yarn bracelets that you can make. They have a whole list of party favors in here, and just really emphasize planning. There's a lot of detail in here. Then they get into all of the eco-friendly costumes, ideas for that, how to host a green party. Wow, this book, I hadn't read this yet. So, I mean, I've flipped through this book, but never this section. And this is really impressive. So if you want more details, and maybe for future Halloween and also other parts of the year, check out this book. Lots of great tips in here. I hope you learned something today, and I would love to hear from you now in the comment section below. What ways do you celebrate Halloween, and what are your favorite treats that are eco-friendly and vegan? Let me know down below. Feel free to link to them. Do you have a favorite website or a store, brand, something that you do, a tradition? Let me know down below. I cannot wait to see it. And to everyone else, please check out the comments to see what other people are suggesting. If you like this video and you found it useful, give it a thumbs up. And if this is your first time checking out one of my videos, please subscribe to the channel so that you're the first to know when I have more like this. And don't forget to come back every Saturday except for October 25th and November 1st of 2014, because I have the live Q&As where I answer questions like Eric and open it up to anybody who wants to ask questions. I love just supplying as much information I can about leading a happy, healthy life. And in the meantime, you can visit ecovegangal.com for more tips and find me on social media, where you don't only get to connect with me, but you get to connect with other like-minded people who have great tips, and find people like Corey and Lynn here, and they're great site and tips. I'm sure they're going to have a ton for the holidays. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye, and happy Halloween!